Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great day today. So today we are doing a English pub and it is Christmas themed, because it is now December, so everything must be Christmas related. I put up my Christmas tree today, well not today, today is Monday. I am pre-doing this because I have got a lot of videos to do because I am hopefully going to a Christmas market on Saturday, so I won't be able to do as much builds over the weekend, so I thought I'd be prepared and do a load in advance. So this is a pub that me and my friend went to on Wednesday. We kind of were wondering, we'd walked all the way from the South Bank all the way back up to Green Park, and we knew that there was this great little pub that's close by, and we were really cold and we wanted chips, so we went to this pub. And so it's a really tiny little pub that's kind of, it's not tucked away, but you need to sort of know about it if you want to find it. It's got really expensive cars like down the road that you have to go down to. It's got like Bugattis and Rolls Royces, so you can tell what part of the city that is located in. So it was quite hard to do this build because technically it's a 4-story build, but I didn't bother doing the 4th story because I had a nightmare trying to figure out the roof for that, because it's on a slant and it has one of the tall sort of pitch roofs that most buildings like that in London have. It was really hard to work out what type of roof I was trying to get on it, and it was also kind of hard to get the windows and doors that I wanted, because the pub itself has quite large windows at the bottom of it and large doors to go with it, but obviously in the game it's sort of, you get graphical glitches, and you see there this disgusting roof that I tried to put on this building. But I don't know how much time I spent doing the bloody roof on this build, but it gets there in the end, it really does. But it was just a nightmare, and all the get together wallpapers worked amazingly well on this build because it does actually have near enough that pattern on the outside, and the bottom bit is a nice dark, I think the actual building is black wood, but the closest I could get to was the dark brown, so I'm still faffing with the roof. I also, because the building itself has sort of indented windows right at the front, I sort of cut away a little gap of just one tile to sort of represent that the windows are actually set in. I did want to use the bay windows in there, but because the bay windows are 3 wide in the game instead of 2, it kind of didn't work as well as I wanted to. And hopefully we'll be getting, and we the building has loads of sort of those things, whatever they're called, the wallflower grass things that hang down, and it's got really nice sort of old lamps and lots of pub related things. I did add some shelves to the outside because it did have a space where you could stand outside in the summertime to have your drink outside, and adding the lamps, I just scaled them up. I think those ones are base game, which are really, really good for nice traditional base game lamps. And it took me a while to find the sign that I wanted, because obviously you've got to have your traditional pub sign. The pub itself as well does have its name on the side of the building, but I couldn't find anything appropriate to put on the side. So we're going to start working on the inside of the pub. The bottom floor itself, where you actually have the pub area, is really, really tiny, so, and on angles, so it was like ridiculously hard to try and squeeze everything in, and using the more fancier bar and the side bar as well, because they have it so the bar's kind of a little secular secular piece, and how they have all the drinks hanging up from the little spindles that I'm trying to put in now. And sort of they had some nice mulled wine and some spice cider, I think, because obviously it is Christmas now and we must be reminded of that constantly. And I think all my builds up to Christmas will be Christmas related. I kind of did, like I said earlier, like 3 builds over the weekend and went a bit Christmas mad. And I think I was planning to do I might do a vlog when I go to the Christmas market, because I really want to make it once I've been, if it's a really nice traditional one, make some like little Christmas huts and stuff. And I think that'd be quite cool. Be kind of like the Moroccan market that I made earlier, but obviously Christmas related. That's the most important thing. And now I put in the tables. They're the ones from Get Together. I used a load of stuff from Get Together, and it has all the requirements for a pub in the game. And at the moment, it's way too cramped. This is probably more accurate size to what the actual space is, because the Sims objects I'm sure they're a lot bigger than the actual real life objects, and obviously you can't smush all the tables together, so it's a lot more cramped in the actual space, because this is where you have to like grab a table number and sort of order what your food was. And there's some really nice food in there. We sat on that little table there with the benches that I used little puffs for under the TV. And yeah, this guy randomly started sitting next to me because there was a big gaggle of guys all talking behind us, and just found myself randomly with someone next to me sitting the other way. I was like, oh, thank you for occupying my bench. And using a lot of the Parenthood fairy lights as well, to layer them up down the window to create sort of their little Christmas lights. And I quite enjoy looking at this build in the night time as well, because it kind of adds a bit more magic to it, a bit more Christmassy vibe, because especially all around that area they have some amazing Christmas decorations, and they've got like baubles that are draped all over the front of buildings with Christmas lights in, and it's like literally so bright it could near enough be daytime at night time with all the Christmas lights at the moment. And the Parenthood little lights that I used over the tables really reflected what their lights they had as well. And I wanted to add some bar tables in, and obviously we don't actually have any, so I raised up some normal round tables and kind of tucked the bar stools underneath, and used one of the signs to sort of give the illusion, the fact that it's not just floating on the floor. And I couldn't add too much detail. I added the Christmas tree in because they did have one in that location there. And then sort of the upstairs is where the kitchen, the bathroom, and sort of a little seating areas. I don't think the kitchen is actually upstairs in this particular pub, but I don't particularly want to do a basement, because they did have a basement, but I didn't really fancy doing it. Thought that there was enough floors already, so kind of just putting in some traditional sort of looking furniture. I also add in, with the seating area, sort of a nice fireplace, and using a lot of the traditional wood paneling with the wallpaper at the top, which I do like using in these more builds. And it was quite hard to sort of fit in all the objects because we've got a beautiful slant. The building itself, it doesn't actually have a gradient that steep, but in the game obviously we can't use a very subtle sort of curve because the whole building itself is on a curve. So I kind of had to do a bit of a curve and then a straight bit at the back. And then this is the kitchen area, so this is where you can all get your sort of Sims to. You could probably turn this into a sort of restaurant as well if you had dine out, and sort of this would be where your you could change the ovens out for chef stations, and then you could turn this into a gastropub, which is hyper expensive and serves delicious food. And I remembered that we had the little ketchup, like condiment things, so I put those in just because they did have that sort of stuff on the tables. And I just pulled my microphone out, so yay if the quality had changed for that few minutes or so. But now we are working on the top of the pub, and this is where you can have your Sims stay. So they are the owners of the pub and they run it, and they live right on the top floor, which would be very convenient if you could actually live in a pub dotted area in The Sims. Or you could change it and make it into sort of a inn or a guest place, so you could change up the rooms a bit so they were just ones that The Sims let out. So there's a master bedroom and a kid's bedroom, and it's all quite plain. There's not too much stuff in them because there wasn't really a lot of space. There is two bathrooms, and I extend the kitchen. I sort of knock that wall out into where the stairs come up, and make the living area a bit bigger, because the area that I put it in, it was a bit too cramped. So kind of just change up the space, put a half wall so you could pop the telly in front of it and sort of make it a bit more usable, and then we could get the table in as well and just make it a bit more functional space than it was originally. And also add the building that's on the back of the pub as well, because I thought it was a bit weird how it just ended and it looked a bit odd. So I kind of thought, I'll add the back of the building, and it's a completely different building to the one at the front. It's clearly been added not more recently, but a lot closer to this century than the pub itself. So it had the same colouring as the city living bricks, and it had that really cool sort of circular window out the front as well, and just sort of adding in the roofing. And now we're into night time, so this is what it looks like at night, and just adding in some more fairy lights over the windows and Christmas trees, and using the winter tree that we got outside and putting them in the little golden pots that we had in the game, and just making it as Christmassy as possible. And now we'll be going into the screenshots. So this is the inside, the downstairs, the pub area, and doing some different angles, getting the feel for the place and into the layout. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and if you'd like to see any more builds, then feel free to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.